Also, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are located. All right. Next up are classes. I want to talk about classes. They each have something different they're good at and their own unique playstyle. Hundo Dragon is your Shadow Blade. He's your nippy, fast, quick DPS character. He can't take a lot of damage, but he sure can do a lot. And he can dash around the place with extremely high mobility. It's a ton of fun to play. He can get in and out of there. It's your fun class to play. Oh my gosh, totally. Alias is your Quantum Fixer. For all intents and purposes, he is your healer, which is needed when you see some of the bad guys we're going to be fighting later. It's going to be a bunch of fun. Gray is your Chronomancer. He is your long-distance mage character who casts spells to do damage. And when you see some of the bad guys we're going to be fighting, you'll see it's incredibly useful. And the reason I say that is because some of them will have an area of effect at their feet. What does that mean? Well, it means if you get too close, it will set you on fire. They can do poison damage. They can slow you down. A bunch of not very fun stuff. But being able to extend your combat distance is incredibly useful. Classics and myself, we are Time Warriors. Oh my gosh, this is a fun one. It's they're my personal favorite. They're your tough, in your face melee brute. They're not the fastest character in the game, but they can take a lot of damage, take a licking and keep on ticking, and they can keep on going. So whenever there's a class in a game, I always like going for the tank, the Time Warrior. So it's gonna be a bunch of fun. All right, let me explain what's going on here. So what does the first time user experience look like in Big Time? Well, you'll create an account, of course, assuming that you have a gold pass as of right now, and then select one of the classes we just discussed. If you want to play a different class, you'll talk to a Pocket Watch starter vendor, which are here. You'll see these in front of me. So every one of these robots are for a different class. So I can chat with the Shadow Blade trainer. I can chat with Genghis Khan, the warrior trainer, which is the Time Warrior for your tank, which I'm currently playing. And Benjamin Franklin, your Quantum Fixer trainer, which is your healer. And your Chronomancer, which is your mage. So you go and pick up a Pocket Watch. And you're like, well, Zach, I don't even know what a Pocket Watch is. Let me tell you what a Pocket Watch is. Pocket Watches, well, this is your inventory. I got into the state by pressing I on my keyboard. Something important to mention is everything here is keybind customizable. So if you don't like you can put it to whatever you'd like. All right, well, what's a Pocket Watch? Pocket Watches are sick because they allow you to switch class or character mid-fight, and you can flex to support your team with what it needs, and you aren't forced to play one class. As you can see, I have these Pocket Watches in my inventory. Let me hover over them. This is the Pocket Watch I have currently equipped, which is my Time Warrior Pocket Watch. So something important to mention, equipment and skills are bound to this Pocket Watch, so you can build it exactly how you want to. Let me put my graphics up to high. Believe it or not, they're on low. Let me put it all the way up. That tells you how much better this game can look. There we go. That's what it's supposed to look like. I just forgot to change it back. All right, there we go. Now it's on epic, as it should be. So again, your skills, your stats, your equipment are all bound to your Pocket Watch. Something important to mention, I can use any weapon, and I can use any piece of armor and equipment in the game, even if it's not for a Time Warrior. All I need are the appropriate stats. Weapons, equipment, armor, they are not class-based. They're stat-based, meaning if I have the appropriate stats, I can use any piece of armor or equipment in the game. So I can switch between Pocket Watches mid-fight, and you can kind of flex to support your team composition. When you go into a dungeon, it's a maximum of 6 players. Keep that in mind. All right, so it's going to be a bunch of fun. So as I left-click, I will progress through a series of 4 attacks. As I right-click, I can right-click while going through these, and I will do a big critical. That's not always just a heap ton of damage, but it also can be a stun ability if I have the appropriate weapon. And you're like, well, Zach, what's an appropriate weapon? Well, if I have a Chronomancer staff, I think one of the criticals, maybe Gray can demonstrate, I think it's a stun. Yeah, I think it's, so for each left-click, there is a right-click critical. So you can see that on the bottom of my screen. You can see I'm progressing through these white circles. I can right-click, do something cool. And these combos are different for each weapon. Awesome. I just want to say, the reminder that this is an early access launch of Big Time, and we are not looking at the full game, and we are earning real cosmetic NFTs. And space NFTs are dropping, but they are not currently accessible, and you won't see tokens as these features will be coming later down the road. So I just want to mention that. We're going to be saying that a bunch just because I know a bunch of people are tuning in right now. This is kind of the beginning, and we're going to be streaming all day, so it's going to be a bunch of fun. we explain in classes. All right, so again, for the people tuning in, I just want to go over this again. Where are we? This is an adventure zone known as Time's End. It's the last planet left at the end of the universe. Adventure zones allow us to interact with other players that are not in our party. We can battle enemies across this wilderness. We can even harvest the environment for resources. We can journey on winding quests, venture into dungeons, and much, much more. Remember, this is just the beginning, everybody. You know, Gray, I think we should venture over and try to find some of that mining. I think that would be cool to look for that material. I think that would be sick. What do you think?
Sounds great.
There is mining in the game. They're putting this in just as a little tidbit. Mining in the game is just here for hype. It will absolutely serve a purpose later.
Yeah. I don't believe in early access that mining resources will specifically give you anything besides materials that you can sell for gold in the game. But yes, absolutely what Zach said. Mining will serve a purpose in the actual game itself.
What purpose? Oh, we can't tell you. It's a secret.
Yeah.
Oh, something cool to mention. With my movement speed, I should go over the basics. I should absolutely do that. Well, I'm moving around right now using the W, A, S, and D keys on my keyboard. Something cool to mention. If I double tap any one of my movement keys, if I were to double tap D, I'm going to dash to the right. Double tap A, I'll dash to the left and forward and backwards. So it's very useful to dash in and out of combat. Also, if I'm pressing W and Shift at the same time, I'll go into a sprint. And of course, the spacebar will make me jump. These are some of the materials that I can mine. I can go over here, press E, begin mining, and I will collect resources, some iron ore. Right now, you can just sell it like Gray was saying, but later it will definitely serve a purpose. Oh, this is instanced. Do you want to talk about it, man? This seems like pretty good. This is the best way we've ever talked about instanced. Okay, so instanced-based loot is a very cool feature. I personally call it the friendship-saving mechanic. It means that loot can't be stolen from you and then you lose a friend. For example, if Gray could come over here when he has a chance, you'll see that he won't be able to see this loot on the ground. So I can be an awesome friend and press R on my keyboard. And now I've shared this item. Now Gray can pick it up, and other people in this adventure zone can as well. But if I don't want to, and I want to keep it for myself, then I could just take it. And Gray doesn't have to pick it up if he doesn't want to, and he can just, dance on top of it and be that guy. What's everyone thinking of this so far? Isn't it absolutely beautiful? Oh my gosh, it's so cool. There's some of the critters that run around Time's End, the adventure zone. So there's a bunch of stuff to do. Again, for the people who are just tuning in, you can interact with other players that are not in your party. You can battle enemies across the wilderness. You can harvest the environment for resources, journey on winding quests, venture into dungeons, and much, much more.